So recently I just moved to Japan and I'm making a few videos just to keep a bit of progress on me. I think the biggest thing about working in Japan, and I don't think I should say maybe the company I work with just in case I say anything bad and ends up being shit. Um, it's really different. I think the language barrier is probably the most biggest thing, especially the fact that even though I have studied Japanese, it's really hard to still pick up the language, especially because I'm in a Kansai area and we have Kansai dialects, Kansai Ben. Um, so it makes a lot of like basic words just like a lot of basic words in Japanese that you'd hear in the general public is different because it's a different dialect. So it's harder to understand, it's harder to pick up, and the more I focus on Japanese, the more I realize how different it is to English more and more each day, just with the grammar, because I find the grammar extremely confusing. And because I'm in an environment where I work at eikawa, I don't have an opportunity as much to practice my Japanese because I'm forced to speak English every day, and that I perfectly understand. So it makes me frustrated because when I try to participate in Japanese life, it's very hard because I don't speak the language, and because I have the opportunities to speak Japanese, I can't fully um, enjoy life here. And it's only the third week, but it's still very frustrating to not be able to do these things. At the same time, I'm surprised about how well I've really taken to this. Um, it's frustrating because obviously I don't really have my boyfriend around, and I don't have my support network, my friends and my family to be here. But at the same time, I know that's just something that I knew I was coming to the situation with. That I knew I was going to Japan with my tattoos, and knowing I was going to have to hide them, and knowing that when summer comes about, it's going to be tough to get it. Um, but I think for first and foremost, it is a language barrier because when you're living in this country, and this applies if you're moving to another country where they speak a foreign language to the language that you speak, simple tasks like just doing like bills and doing like taking out the bins, like you don't really know as well about that, and it makes it really frustrating to just do just simple things that in your own home country you can just either do like that. Um, so it's a lot of adjustment. Like I hope I do. I would like to aim halfway through the year I can speak. I would like to be able to speak fluent Japanese, um, which is a big aim of mine because the last thing before I go back to Melbourne, Australia, even if it's visiting Melbourne, is that I can't speak fluent Japanese. I can't speak fluent Japanese. Sorry about that. And it's also frustrating because a lot of Japanese people, when they do learn English, they learn in the American accent. So for them to understand my Australian accent is a little bit difficult because there's a lot of sounds that we don't pronounce in Australian accent. We have a very nasal sound, and we kind of shorten our words a lot. And obviously, plus with our slang, it makes it very difficult. So I'm trying my best to speak as much Japanese as I can speak, but I know that my Japanese levels have decreased, and there are times when I just don't respond as quick as maybe I could have 2 years ago when I was actually probably studying Japanese. So that makes me realize I really need to get on to studying my Japanese. But at the same time, because of my job as at an eikawa, I need to make sure that I know my lessons and I can do it on my lessons and get it all down. So it will take time before I'm confident in my lessons. It'll probably be like at least 2 months, and then I can really just focus on like studying Japanese, because by that stage I will be able to fully indulge, educate myself within Japanese culture. But for the most part, it's been great. The shopping here is amazing, and I've been here twice, and I'm still impressed by Japanese shopping, and just the fact that buying alcohol in the convenience store, which you can't really do in Australia. We have a very negative drinking image in Australia. Yeah, it gets ugly. Um, so it's refreshing. But it's definitely different living in suburban lifestyle. I do live in a 1 bedroom apartment, and yes, it's very small as typical Japanese standards are, but it's kind of cozy actually. I actually don't mind the size. It's enough for one person, and it's enough for me. I live in a really lovely area actually. It's kind of quaint, kind of old, but I'm quite happy with it. So it's a new experience, and like I said, I hope I will be able to speak fluent Japanese. But for the moment, not really. I'm just using really basic words. But let's see. Let's see where it goes. We'll find out.